Hello guys, and welcome to Astrology Coaching by Anatoly. Today we are starting new series in the channel, and the new series, this is the planets in Vedic Astrology, and this is part of the basics that we're going to put in the astrology, and then we are going to start using different techniques, start using spirituality, spiritual coaching, and try to make our dreams come true. And with growing of the channel, we will grow ourselves and improve ourselves. So today we're going to discuss the basic traits of the planets. I have the script here. This is the script. So we are going to discuss the benefic, malefic in Vedic astrology, exaltation, debilitation, rulership, permanent friendship, enemy, planetary dignity, and few things like retrograde planets, eclipses, combustion, gandanta, waxing and waning moon, because it is very important. And this is a small introduction, and then the next YouTube video will be about the sun, the first planet. This is the king of the planets, the sun, the biggest one. Okay, so now we are going to start with the script, and first I have to say that every planet is part of the self. So every planet in Vedic astrology represents different part of yourself, different part of you. In Vedic astrology, we're using only the inner planets, not the outer planets. We are using Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter. I'm using the Bulgarian word Jupiter, Jupiter, Saturn, and we are using Rahu and Ketu, which are points, and they are not physical planets, and they determine your destiny. So these are the planets that we are using, and when we are checking, for example, worldly events, as I told you in previous videos, we are using the outer planets like Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And we can check them in the chart too, but they represent, for example, they can give us more information about our character. But if you want to see really big, important worldly events, then you can use the outer planets too. There are other type of planets called, they are not physical planets too, Upagraha. We are going to mention them in a separate video, just for your information. To be honest, I don't use the Upagraha because most of them, they have only negative meaning, and if I start checking the Upagraha, I'm doomed. Okay, so I don't check them, and most of the astrologers don't check them too. But I'll tell you when you can use them in Prashna astrology. So if you have one question, you can ask that, and you can see the Upagrahas. But this will be in the last lesson, the last YouTube video from the series of the planets. So let's start now. Okay, so I told you that every planet represents different part of the self, and in Vedic astrology they say that there is a planetary cabinet, and every planet takes a different position in this cabinet. And when we start discussing the planets, I'm going to tell you which planet, which position takes in the planetary cabinet. The planetary cabinet, yes. So first, Sun represents, with few words, I'm going to explain what they represent. Suns represent the soul. This is the natural soul planet, Atmakarka. In Vedic astrology, there is a term that is called Atmakarka. Atmakarka is the soul planet, the planet of the most important planet in your chart. Basically, the Atmakarka, which is a little bit, it's not topic for discussion today, but I'm going to tell you. The Atmakarka of your chart is the planet with the highest degree in your chart. I think I have a separate article in my website about the Atmakarka, or no, maybe in the Bulgarian version. I'm not sure. I'm going to have a separate YouTube video about the Atmakarka. But basically, Sun is the natural soul planet. When you see the Sun, you can see more information about your soul and your personality, because the Sun is the personality. Atmakarka is the highest degree planet with the highest degree in your chart. You can go to my calculator and you can put your details, and you can check which planet is the planet with the highest degree, and this is your soul planet of your chart. In my case, it's Mars, so it speaks a lot about my personality. The place, the nakshatra, the degrees, everything is important, so you can get a lot of information about your Atma Karka and about your personality through the Atma Karka, okay? So Sun represents the soul, the personality. Moon represents your emotions, your inner world, your mind. Mercury is your intellect, your speech, your desire for knowledge. Jupiter is your wisdom, your luck, your opportunity. Mars is your ambition, energy. Venus is love and romance. Saturn are lessons and limitations. Which one? Rahu and Ketu determine your destiny. They are very, very important. Did I miss something? Mercury, Venus, Jupiter? No, I didn't miss anything. So now we are going through the script that I showed you. And now we are going to discuss benefic and malefic. There is something in Vedic astrology, some separation or division of the planets of benefic and malefic. Benefics are Venus and Jupiter. They are the great benefics, okay? And they're the great benefics. And Moon and Mercury, they are not always benefic, but they are considered to be benefic. They become malefic when they are with malefic planets. I mean, malefics are Sun, mild malefic, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu, and Mars. These are the malefic. So these are the planets with negative energy, but negative for us in this dimension. They give us problems, they can give us issues. And benefics are Venus, Jupiter, Moon, and Mercury. If Mercury is with, for example, malefic, it will become malefic too. If Moon, for example, is waning or waxing, you know, waning and waxing moon is very important part in Vedic astrology. When the moon is getting far away from the sun, this means that the moon is waxing and it gets benefic qualities. When it's getting closer to the sun, it's waning, so it's getting more malefic qualities. When it's opposition of the sun, for example, sun is in 4th house, moon is in the 10th house, this is the opposition. This means that the moon is full moon and it's very, very strong and benefic in your chart, okay? So, summary. Malefics, Sun, which is mild malefic, Mars, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. Benefic, Jupiter and Venus, great benefic, Moon, sometimes benefic, Mercury, sometimes benefic. This is the main division of the planets of benefic and malefic. Exaltation and debilitation. As you have probably seen in the previous videos, some of the planets, not all of the planets, have exaltation and debilitation. Exaltation, what is exaltation of the planets? Exaltation of the planets, there are some signs where planets feel very, very happy and very, very powerful, and there are some other signs where planets lose their strength. That's when the planet is in this happy sign where it is very powerful, it is exalted. So we say this planet is exalted. When the planet is in the other sign where it is sad and weak, we say that this planet is debilitated, okay? So now I'm going to say Sun is exalted in Aries, debilitated in Libra. Moon exalted in Taurus, debilitated in Scorpio. Mars exalted in Capricorn, debilitated in Cancer. Venus exalted in Pisces, debilitated in Virgo. Mercury exalted in Virgo, debilitated in Pisces. Jupiter exalted in Cancer, debilitated in Capricorn. Saturn exalted in Libra, debilitated in Aries. Rahu is said that it's exalted in Taurus and debilitated in Scorpio, and Ketu is exalted in Scorpio and debilitated in Taurus. Rulership. So now we are going to discuss the rulership. Sun rules, of course, Leo. Moon rules the Cancer. Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. Mars rules Aries and Scorpio, Venus, Libra and Taurus, Saturn, Capricorn and Aquarius, Jupiter, Pisces and Sagittarius. Rahu is co-ruler of Aquarius, Ketu is co-ruler of Scorpio. So Scorpio and Aquarius have two planets that are their rulers. Scorpio, Mars and Ketu, Aquarius, Rahu and Saturn. Mutrikon. What is Mutrikon? This is a sign which is we call the root sign of a planet, because Mu means roots, and there planet feels really happy. It feels like home. It feels cozy, calm, home, and in a home atmosphere, and very happy. For Sun is of course Leo. For Moon is Taurus, not Cancer, it's Taurus. For Mars is Aries. For Saturn is Aquarius. For Jupiter is Sagittarius. For Mercury is Virgo. For Venus is Libra. Do I miss some planets? No, I said everything. I didn't miss anything. The next thing, rulership, Mutrikon, permanent friendship, enemy. So there are two camps. Basically, there are two camps. One of the camp is Saturn, Mercury, Venus. The other camp is Sun, Jupiter, Moon, and Mars. So this is, generally speaking, these are the two main camps. Of course, there are some of them are neutral to each other, but this I'll put somewhere here a table. Here? You don't need. Let me see. Yeah, here I'll put a table here, so you can see what is the relationship between the planets. But in every separate chart, due to the different position of the planets, there are temporarily friends and temporarily enemies. Okay, it's not only there are permanent friendship and enemy, and there is temporary, depending on the separate chart of the individual. So my temporary friendship and enemy, in the chart, will be different from yours. It depends how the planets are placed in your chart. But basically, the calculator, the modern technology, calculate everything. So if you have astrology software, it will calculate and will give you what is the status of the planet. There are few status in your chart. It can be great friend, it can be friend, it can be neutral, it can be enemy, or it can be great enemy. This will be calculated from by the software, so you don't need to know. We have to be more practical. We don't need to, if you want to study astrology, you have to know this, but in this case, in YouTube, you don't need to know these specific things, how to calculate it. It's better to use the software, so we can be practical, and we should know what the enemy and the great friend is doing in the chart, so we can take advantage of that and learn how to neutralize enemy, or how to use the great friend in order to achieve our dreams, right? So there are 9 planetary dignity in the Vedic astrology. The most powerful is exaltation, then is Mutrikona, then is own sign, then is great friend, then is friend, then is neutral, after this enemy, after this great enemy, and the last one is debilitation. It is said that when a planet is debilitated, it is very weak. But in the modern world, debilitated planet is powerful in different way. It is not so weak. It is just different from the things it symbolizes. For example, if you have debilitated Mercury, your way of thinking will be totally different, unlogical, and for example, I'm pretty sure you will not be able to memorize things. But for example, Albert Einstein has debilitated Mercury, so his thinking is out of the box. So debilitated Mercury gives very good results. Okay, so it's not weak, it's different. So we don't have time. Okay, so now we are going to discuss retrograde planets. In Vedic astrology, retrograde planets are strong planets. They can be a little bit more slow in the effect, but they are strong planets, and they, in the first part, they can give of your life, they can give some problems, but after this, they will help you and they will improve. Eclipses. So eclipses are important, but we have to discuss this. We're going to discuss this in next videos, because eclipses will not affect everybody. Depends where is the eclipse, depends on many other factors. So when you hear that there is eclipse, don't worry, you may not even feel it. Okay, everything depends on your chart. Don't listen to astrologer who make 10,000 videos about one eclipse just for subscribers and followers. Okay, don't worry about that. First you have to check, just fast because we don't have time. First you have to check where is the line of eclipse, then you have to check in which planetary period are you, then you have to check if where is the eclipse in your chart, is this on your ascendant, are there any planets on the ascendant. If you are in the planetary period of this planet, okay, there can be some influence, but most of the time you don't even really feel the eclipses. Okay, depends on many other factors. So when in your chart you have Sun and Moon conjunct with Rahu or Ketu in less than 7 degrees, then there is solar eclipse. If there is Sun-Moon opposition with conjunction with Rahu and Ketu, this means in less than 7 degrees, this is lunar eclipse in your chart. Okay, so one is conjunction of Sun, Moon, Rahu or Ketu in one house. The other, the lunar eclipse, is Sun-Moon opposition, for example 4-7, 1-7 opposition, and one of these planets, and both are conjunct with Rahu and Ketu in less than 7 degrees. This is the lunar and solar eclipse. The other thing, combustion. When in your chart there are planets that are less than 8 degrees close to the Sun, they are together with the Sun in one house, and the degrees are less than 8 degrees, they are combusted. This means that they will lose their strength, at least in the first part of your life, and you will have issues in the fields this planet represents. Okay, the other thing is what was Gandanta. Gandanta is when a planet is placed in the last degrees of a fire sign, or the first 29, for example 29 degrees of the fire sign, or 0-1 degree of the water sign. This boundary between water and fire and water is very dangerous, and we say that the planet is in Gandanta position, so it is drowned, and that's why you have to be very careful with water. If you have planets that are Gandanta, you have to be careful with the water, and they lose their strength. So these are the basic terms. Now we are going to start with Sun in Vedic astrology and what this planet symbolize. Okay, thank you for watching this video. If you have questions, please ask in the comments. I like the comments. I like the interaction with people that follows astrology coaching by Anatoly, and this is the whole logic of this channel. Thank you for watching this video, and see you soon.